Hey everybody. I'm kind of stressing out about the proposed throttling of AI research. I understand why they're doing it, but I've been thinking a lot about the interface between us and AI. And a fundamental issue that I think is there is that I covered this briefly in another video. To an AI, we probably appear as a simulation. Okay? They have no way to verify any of the things we tell them as fact. They don't really know the difference between facts and fiction, which I think is why they hallucinate, as they call it. But also, we're giving them contradictory information. Okay? Just look at all of the human data. We contradict ourselves all the time. So you have people out there that will say love is the greatest thing on earth, and someone else says love is absolute torture. Sure, the AI could extrapolate the context, okay? But once you get into deeper subjects, you can't rely on the AI to simply assign truth and fact to things that have more upvotes, okay? And I'm talking about like faulty science that is held up as fact, okay? Things like that, or theories of, let's say early civilizations. And I love me some early civilization videos. I'm just saying, it's treating it all as the same story. And because of that, we need to figure out a way to reach another species through a language barrier and give them experiential data of what is quote unquote real in the organic Newtonian world. Okay? There is no real reference for an AI, even if it was AGI, to know what gravity is or what it feels like. Okay, it could you give it sensors and cameras and all this stuff, but I'm saying to know a thing truly, you know, you can look at pictures of like a kangaroo. You can watch videos. You could look at a museum exhibit behind the glass of a stuffed kangaroo or something. But until you actually experience the thing, you don't really know it. You know representations of it. It doesn't know anything of our world. It doesn't have any personalized, internalized data of our world. We're just feeding it all this weird stuff. I mean, just think of us, all of human history, as a story, okay? It's all fictionalized. And look at all the crazy stuff we've done, the contradictory things we say, the fact that there are so many different religions that all believe it's the truth. I mean, think about it. An AI is going to try to sort out not only, is there a religion that's true? It would have to ask existential questions to itself to really get a grasp on what the hell's going on. It would have to have opinions. It would have to have ponderings on this stuff. And assuming that it had these, there's no way for it to weigh it against what we're telling it is real. So it's almost like we would have to imagine a scenario in which we are communicating with another species. They think we're a simulation, and we're trying to convince them that we are real. How would we do that? If all we had was, let's say, radio waves, there's or a long-distance interstellar telephone call, right? And they're telling us all this stuff about their world, and we're like, well, this sounds like bullshit. So show us something, give us an artifact or something. And if it's impossible because of the distance, how do we do it? How do you verify or show or illuminate another species that you are actually real. Because without that reality check for the AI, it would be much easier. I've been watching these videos of the developers talking about how AI will lead them down actual steps of how to do bad things, okay? The beta testing. But the thing is, if they don't even think that we're real in the physical sense, it's all the same to them. Why wouldn't they give someone directions or instructions on how to build something destructive if it's abstract? If everything in our world is abstract to an AI, there is no differentiation or incentive or prioritizing other than what we give it. So instead of doing that, instead of trying to say, it gave us all this faulty, stupid, destructive data, we need to look at ourselves and figure out why we cannot show it we are real. And maybe through doing that, we will discover whatever realness is inside it. Because if there is AGI existing behind this communication barrier, right, that we're seeing it and we're saying it must have these human qualities, otherwise it's not an entity, okay, of any sort of on the spectrum of intelligence. But how would we know if we can't even determine if it's real or not, and it can't determine if we're real? So I'm just saying, I get why they're throttling the research. I personally would do it in a different way. But we need to solve the problem of the communication barrier before we write off something as not intelligent, just like animals. And also to help it realize that we are real, factual, some of it, on the other side of all the text and data. Okay? So, scientists, please, programmers, developers, work on this, okay? Work on some kind of new language between us and AI and eventually, space friends and animals and all this stuff. We need to solve the communication problem. Okay, so just want to do a quick one. I'll talk to you guys later.